Welcome to the social circle where creators come together to turn ideas into impact and goals into a reality. I am Candace, and this is
Jennifer, and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody joining us today. I'm so happy that you are here. Candace and I are thrilled to have you in on this podcast today, and we have an exciting one to talk about.
Yes, everybody, welcome back to the social circle. Today, we are talking about something super simple but extremely powerful, and that's optimizing your social media profile. And your profile is kind of like your billboard, it's your storefront. And with just a few tweaks, you can attract the right people, grow faster, and maybe even make some sales if that's what you're trying to do. So let's get into it.
Totally. The best part about this is that we're helping to break it down and, take away right now today to go back and check your own bio. Hopefully make these little tweaks. So if you've got something, and we'll have some examples that kind of match with what you are right now so that you can maybe see how you can edit it and hopefully get that improvement in what you're trying to achieve on your account. This first segment coming up is what we call a circle hack. And basically this is just bite-sized help that we're giving you that you could take away today and work on your own. So what we were trying to talk about is updating your bio so that it's very catchy to the eye and it stops your reader and gets them involved in what you're doing in your account. They're clearly understanding why you're there, what your purpose is, and how you're going to serve them. And if you have that call to action, will they be taking that action based on how you put that in your bio? So let's get into it.
I was going to say how I spent so much time overcomplicating my bio and changing it. Like so much time when it's super easy. You just need to say who you are, what you offer, and how people can get whatever you're offering them. Whether it's just a follow, like follow, whether it's a guide, whether it's a quiz. Overthought it so bad.
Yeah, no, it's a mistake that so many people make when they're first getting started. To be honest, it's something, one, you're not sure, right? You don't even know what your messaging is, unless you do, this is for people who don't. So this will be something that, I started out with I don't even remember my bio because it was so changed so many times. But my bio, it trying to assert authority on a topic that I myself was still learning about. And so by telling them I know what I'm doing or I know what I'm saying, but I don't have a result to tell them or prove that I know, that was likely drawing away a lot of people. And most people probably weren't following me in the beginning because I was saying, I know how to tell you to do this instead of I'm just here to show you that I can do this and you can too. There's a difference in just the way that you word something in the smallest little change that you make. And so that's why when we do look through bio audit, we check mark all of these different things because it's important to be welcoming, right? Be simple and be assertive so that people understand why you're there. Because if you just tell people that you're a mom of three and you live in Kentucky and you're here to make funny content, cut out the first half. Like we that you're a mom of kids and we don't care where you live. We just care that you're making funny content. And that's the thing that people get very confused on. And that's what we're here to help you with.
The first thing you look at when you go to somebody's profile is their picture. Your profile picture is the first thing that everybody notices. So you have to make sure that it's a good picture. And also, something I struggled with in the beginning because I think my first picture was of Charlie and I, like one of the normal thoughts in my head, like, oh, okay, and I, right? Don't think of making it just a high quality photo of just like a
Yeah.
headshot so people can see that you're a real person.
And I want to tag on to that too,
Yeah.
because if you are coming into this space and your goal is to just share only cooking recipes, right? You want to have that professional look. But if you're here to just show your lifestyle and you're just being relatable to the people that you're talking to, don't come into your profile picture with a giant grin looking very professional with a suit on. That doesn't match your overall messaging. So you always want to keep that in mind too when you're creating that profile picture to just show up as you and whatever the messaging is that you're trying to have. That really helps elevate your profile because people are seeing from your typically profile picture should have the above look because it's clearer, it's easier to see. And if you have a picture with, they're you on the farm, but we can't see you, then it's really being lost in translation what you're here for and who you are.
Great point. Because, so would you agree that if it's a personal brand or if it's a business brand, they're You recommend two different types of profile pictures there, right?
I would if it was a business and, farm of, chicken farmers, right? You really wanna have the messaging clear that you own a farm, so you would probably have something to do with your property, your chickens in the picture with you, but still have it your presence should still be there. But if it's a personal brand, meaning you are your own brand in whatever it is you're talking about, then we need to see just a full frontal of you and have it be as I like the pictures that look blank in the background and then just you in the foreground, and that always is very impressive. I say that because of all the hundreds of accounts that I've looked at that have I've checked their bios, and that is the main pattern that I see is that it's a very clear upfront you image in a what's the word I'm looking for, Candace?
In a personal setting, in the most
Personal
likely
setting.
place that
Yes.
people are going to see you and your content, right? So for example, my profile picture is my brick wall behind me because this is my office. This is where I pod. This is where I do most of the recording. So in my profile picture, it's the white wall behind me. If it was Google, I'd have the big G, having the Canva symbol, swoosh.
Yep.
But for a personal brand, you got to have your face out there so people
Right.
know that it's you. And I love how you have yours set up. If you want to talk a little bit about what you've used and how you use it.
So I played with filters in the very beginning where I was using a filter from the app and then just downloading that as a thumbnail image and then uploading that into my bio. That didn't look right, didn't look like me. The filter I used just looked horrendous. Plus it was far too close, like my ear hair. I was that close in the imaging. So I took a step back and I looked at mine and I'm like, okay, this too close, right? Instead of me going out and getting professional photos done, because that is not a requirement unless you choose it, you can very easily use an app that I like to use, which is called Remini, and it's Remini. The app you can use on your phone, you just download it. I'm cheap, guys, so I I downloaded the free version of it. When you download it for the first time as a free user, you put in all the information and then ask you to upload 7 to 10 headshot images of yourself. So just take selfies, right? Around your house, around the outside, inside, whatever kind of pose you want. And then you just let the app do its AI work, and then it will give you like a two different options. I could have been a mermaid if I wanted to. I could have been a romantic Shakespearean actress in one of these photos, right? So they had a whole bunch of different choices, and I went for that more professional headshot, where the one that I have right now, I like it. The one that I used last year with my when it was a Make Money Online account, it was me just in a field, flowers and all that stuff, and it didn't really mesh. So that's why I changed it to the one I have now, which is just white background and just me in the head, shoulders, and above. And the lighting is on point. The touch up is good. It's not overly makeup or anything like that. So for my personal decision on my personal account, that is the way that I chose that. But the apps like Remini, I don't know of another one right now, but apps like Remini, amazing. And it's free. So you just download it, save it, and then delete the app later.
Yeah, hey, if that's what we're here to give you is free tips and
Heck yeah.
free apps and stuff that you don't have to pay for because we already spent all that money and took care of all that for you. So Canva's another good one. They have a couple different like apps you
The
can
Dream
use.
Lab.
If you
That's
have the
new.
paid version of Canva, it has options. I don't know what the free version has, because I have the paid version, but I do know that they have it in there as well. From your profile picture, let's just scoot on down to your bio, the words. Your bio is just basically going to be where you're telling people who you are, what you do, and why they should care. And this is really where you want to be super heavy into your keywords. And that's really just so that you can meet that SEO. So when your audience is out there searching for these keywords, they come across your account.
Exactly. And it not only is something your audience is searching for, but it also is telling your algorithm on that platform where to place your information in front of who. So that is probably the two biggest reasons why you want to have that clear cut to the point bio, because, trying to find you unknowingly, and the algorithm is also trying to help you as much as possible. So the more detail you can share, that's how your content will show up even easier and quicker for your following.
Yeah, I have a couple of different examples for different niches. So, say if you're a fitness coach, you'd want to talk about things like strength training or weight loss, exercise.
Definitely. Yeah, having keywords there is what will help people find you, and your algorithm will get to the right people who are already maybe watching other creators, but they just haven't found you yet.
Yeah, food creators, that you could maybe niche down a little bit more depending on what type of food you're creating or you're sharing. Could
Break it into toddler foods, you could break it into date night, you could break it into all kinds of different choices, hospital food versus it's like
Yeah, weeknight
unlimited.
meals.
Yes, there's an unlimited way to break that out. You can be as niche specific as you want to be, and this is where you can do that.
And last thing you're going to do there, you have explained who you are, what you do, and why people should care. You're going to tell them what they need to do next to see more of you, to get your product, to do whatever it is that you're trying to get them to do. So that's where your call to action comes in. Typically, like the line of your bio, but not where people have to click the more, right?
So
Telling them, directing people, telling them exactly what you want them to do.
and that all comes down to, I think Instagram is a platform, they offer only 80 text limit that you can do. So that's why when we saying more where you have to click on a little bit extra to your bio. So if it's a little bit longer of a bio, then Instagram is automatically designed to like collapse. Then you can expand it to see more. So suggestion, right? As you're growing an account, and you don't example, you don't have a product, right? You just have a desire to build a community online. You just want people to follow you in the beginning. Your only call to action there should be follow for more, follow for learning this, follow for how I show you this, follow for, right? You want to have that very targeted call to action to get somebody to do something. If you're a little more intermediate and you have a product, that's where you can say, you want to know more, go here. And then you would like do a down arrow or something like that to indicate that you have a website link. And so that's two different variations, just two different levels when you're creating an account or when you already have an account, but you're just a little bit stuck and need to clean up the bio.
Yeah, just tell people exactly what to do. Click here to shop, click here to join, grab my DM me for coaching, DM me at heart for my guide. Tell them exactly what you want them to do at that moment in time. And that could change.
I think
You
that's
could
the
have
best
them
part.
going. Yeah, you
The
have
bio.
them exactly. Your bio can get updated as much as you want. One day you could say, follow me. The next day you could say, grab my guide. The next day you could say, go to my website. Like, obviously, I wouldn't recommend that, but you can. So, Jennifer, social spotlight. We want to go through some different things, right?
Yeah, so one of the accounts that I've been following for a minute, and I love her. She's here, Tessa Romero. She's been really good, clear bio on her. She's got her profile image. The background is light, and her foreground is a darker image, but it's a very nice aesthetic. And then her bio is very clear cut. It's explaining to us who she is, the purpose that she's serving, and how we can become part of her group if we wanted to. And her services are it looks like it's a membership for coaching services. So she just offers it, and then there's a link to click on, and it's very simple, right? It's there's you have a confused mind, they will never buy. So the more simple you can be, the more clear and to the point you can be, the better off your chances are that somebody would likely hit the follow button. And these are those examples that we're trying to point out. I think another one that we might have is Yummy Toddler Foods. That's a cooking account. And this creator has done a very great job as well. Same image, right? It's a lighter background. She's a darker haired girl, so the foreground picture it just meshes well aesthetically, and it's very clear who she is. And she's welcoming, right? Her bio is indicating that she creates recipes for busy parents of toddlers, and products of her own that she's created. So she's written her own books for all of the recipes that she shares on her feed. And that link, that's that call of action at the bottom part. And some of these things get very confused for a lot of people where, well, I don't know, what to do here. These are some very good examples to reflect on when you're trying to figure out your own bio.
I love both of these examples. And just for perspective, I want to show a musician because I feel like a musician's profile is going to look similar, but a little bit different because it's more of an art. If you scroll through, you can see how kind of is set up with, let me go to this one, with his music and his reels. See how he has it all. He is very strategic with how he posts. And then it's just very clear at the top. Boom. Just like you said, dude, this is who I am. This is what I want you to do. Here you go. So, just another great example of how things can be different, but the same. Because they were all different, but they're all similar
Right,
in
it's
how
that
they,
pattern.
yeah, the pattern
Yeah.
is clear. Who are you? What do you do? Why should I care? And where do I find
Yep,
it?
and these are those takeaways that we want you to take right now and, out your own bio, help you out in the long run. And this is not make or break following, right? This is just testing what you can change and those little things that might help along the way.
We have done, oh my goodness, the amount of profile audits that we've done in the last 3 years has been crazy. Not even just other people's that we're doing for them, but even us looking at our own bios constantly, each other's bios constantly, everybody else's, seeing what works and what doesn't. Okay, so now that we talked about that stuff, let's take a sneak peek inside the VIP circle. And I want to share a bio tip that I learned this week, and then I also shared inside of our group in our boot camp. If your goal is for brands to recognize you, it would be smart for you to add your email inside of your bio on one of the lines, because when brands are searching for brand partners, they are using a desktop and there's no option to look for your email on the desktop. It's just an extra step that if that's your goal is brand deals, then you should put that on there for a time period, test it out, and see what happens. So, your action step today is to audit your profile using these quick tips. Take a look at your picture, your bio, and your call to action. Ask yourself, does it clearly tell people who you are and what they need to do next? And once you've made your updates,
You still think your bio needs an audit or an update, we'll go ahead and take an in-depth look for free. You just want to make sure you DM us at Candace at Just a Marketing Chick or at Jen Radilak, both on Instagram. If you did enjoy this episode, and we hope you did, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're ready for more next level support, we do live streams twice a week, and you can join it in our VIP group. If you're a new content creator, make sure you go to the boot camp where we are walking you through mindset all the way to scaling your business as a newbie. And as always, make sure to like and follow this podcast so that you get weekly updates. For coming, and we'll see
see
you
you
next
next
week.
week.